Hey, this is Just Steph. Now, I said in my last review that episode 108 was my favourite episode of the Tournament of Power so far. Didn't take long for that to change. Now, before I go any further, I just want to warn you that this review will contain spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode, watch that first, then watch the review. Once again, we open up to Goku fighting Ribrianne. After last week, when we saw Beerus and Supreme Kai discussing Frieza's intentions for the Super Dragon Balls when the tournament finishes, it was interesting to hear other fighters discuss their own plans for their wishes. It did actually make the continuation of this fight a little bit more interesting. Having said that, I thought it was a bit cliche when Ribrianne said that she was going to wish to become a goddess of love, which is something a little bit more complex than Goku's idea to give the wish to Chi-Chi. Yeah, finally he's being a nice husband. I suppose what else can you do when you spend 8 years of your marriage being dead? In a bit of epic foreshadowing, he decides he might wish for a strong warrior to fight, which is exactly what Ribrianne claims to be, before she goes under another transformation into Super Ribrianne, which I'll admit I didn't expect to see that coming. I thought Ribrianne would be it, but no, there was more. Didn't get much from her though. Goku quickly got the upper hand by powering up to Blue, and one blast and she flies directly at Jiren's feet. Now I know that Jiren could have easily taken her out, but after orders from the Universe 11 God of Destruction Belmod, he has his sights directly on Goku. The build up to this scene is fantastic, with the music in the background and the two fighters just staring at each other for probably, 15 seconds before Goku suddenly springs into action and just starts punching the shit out of Jiren, but he's unable to land a hit on him, purely because of Jiren's energy. So after Goku tests Jiren's strength against his own using all his various transformations, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan God, all the way up to Blue, it still becomes clear that he's no match for Jiren, even when he uses the Kaioken times 20, which is much to the delight of the Universe 11 gods. After Jiren nearly blasts Goku off the stage, manages to come back just by holding on, and he powers down, looks like he's done for the day, but then he reveals that he has a trump card, Spirit Bomb. Now, Goku doesn't think he's going to have enough time to gather all the energy to take down Jiren, but Jiren says he'll wait for him. He wants to see Goku attack at full strength. So we see the Universe 7 fighters all raising their hands to give energy to Goku, even the guys who are off stage, but not Vegeta, because
why should I give my energy to a low-class warrior like Kakarot?
Even Frieza, who only has bad memories of that attack, is more than happy to lend his energy to his sworn enemy. And nice to see that unlike in Dragon Ball Z, the Spirit Bomb was actually ready to fire within a couple of minutes, or seconds if you consider in-universe time, and this entire special, 2 episodes, was over the space of 5 minutes. Once the attack is finally ready, most of the gods are excited to see Goku use it, even the Universe 11 gods, but that's mostly because they're very confident that it's not going to do anything on Jiren, who himself is not even slightly intimidated by the Spirit Bomb. And we see why once Goku throws it, since Jiren's able to just hold it back with a single hand. After an intense struggle, Goku powers up to Blue to push the attack back to Jiren, and he manages it for a bit, but all Jiren has to do is put up his other hand and he pushes the attack back towards Goku. Still seriously struggling, Goku desperately powers up to his times 20 Kaioken, and it's still not enough, and eventually the bomb just consumes Goku and it goes off. I haven't seen a struggle that intense since Gohan and Cell's Kamehameha struggle back in Dragon Ball Z. Still my favourite saga of the entire series, by far. And since then Gohan's just gone downhill, but I'm not talking about him today, he was barely in it. Everyone now thinks Goku's dead, except for the audience thanks to the predictability of Dragon Ball. And after the Grand Priest announces that Jiren won't be disqualified as Goku was supposedly killed by his own attack, most of the other Universe's fighters are ready to go all out against Jiren in Universe 11, even though the Supreme Kai of Universe 11 believed that once Goku was taken out, that would be the end of it. Everyone else would be too scared. It was nice to see that they were all still ready to stand up for themselves. Suddenly, a massive pillar of light appears from the crater formed by Goku's Spirit Bomb, and the whole arena begins to shake. So, as expected by everyone who was watching the show, and also Krillin, Goku emerges from the light in a never-before-seen form, except we all saw it in promos months ago, thanks Toei.
Thanks, Toei.
This new form, which is named Ultra Instinct by Beerus, is much more powerful than Super Saiyan Blue, and now Goku's not only able to keep up with Jiren, but actually land a few hard hits on him. which freaks out the Universe 11 gods. The pair appear to perfectly read each other's movements, which really harks right back to the Golden Frieza saga and the movie Resurrection F, when Whis explains to Goku and Vegeta that true strength comes from having all parts of the body think for themselves. Finally seeing that 2 years later. What's interesting to note is that in this form, Goku has silver eyes like Whis and the other angels, which shows that the angels are in a permanent state of Ultra Instinct, as we saw back in Resurrection F when Whis was lecturing Goku and Vegeta and eventually stepped in some poo. Given that Goku is now able to dodge Jiren's attacks, hint hint Gohan,
Dodge!
the other remaining Pride Troopers, Toppo and Dispo, are no concern to Goku now. They try sending attacks at him, Goku doesn't even flinch, he just dodges it without any sort of effort. And after we get even more intense fighting between Goku and Jiren, we start to see Goku's eyes change between silver and black, which usually means that his new form is about to wear off. Think back to Battle of Gods when he was fighting Beerus. I think that Goku knows his power is about to wear off, as when he launches his final attack at Jiren, he screams loudly, and as the form finally wears off, Goku manages to land a hit, but Jiren easily blocks it, and he blasts Goku away. Goku's done, he's spent, he can't do anything else. Then Hit suddenly intercepts Jiren and begins fighting him, which is something we'll see more of next week. I'm really looking forward to that fight, as Hit's appearances in the Tournament of Power so far have been pretty brief. I think they've been saving him for this one, and I'm keen to see why. Especially because his time skip could be causing problems for Jiren. I don't imagine it'll do too much, but I think it'll make the fight interesting for sure. Finally, we see Goku just completely exhausted in a crater, being questioned by Vegeta about what had happened, before Ribrianne comes back to defeat Goku while he's down, and then Vegeta prepares to fight Ribrianne himself. Given that was one of the major fights featured in the opening, I think this will play a big part to come. And then suddenly Goku disappears, and he's transported to find Frieza standing over him with a sinister smile and there's energy coming out of his hand, and he just says, "This reminds me of what happened on Planet Namek." Initially I thought it was just predictably Frieza betraying Goku when he was completely vulnerable, but then I thought back to Goku's fight with Frieza on Namek back in Dragon Ball Z, and it reminded me of seeing Frieza completely vulnerable at Goku's feet after he cut himself in half, when Goku gave Frieza energy to get himself off planet. So I think Frieza might be finally returning the favour with that one. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm actually starting to think more and more that we might see Frieza maybe not turn good, but not be completely evil after the tournament finishes. I don't think they're going to just send him back to hell and we never see him again. I think he's just become too big of a part in Super now that they can't just leave him out of it. Also, after seeing Goku beaten, I was wondering how he'd be able to rejoin the fight, because I know that his fight with Jiren is definitely not over. I'm sure we'll probably see that form again. So it seems that Frieza's going to be the one who gives him the energy that brings him back into the fight. All in all, I thought this special was excellent. It definitely overtook the last episode as my favourite one of the saga so far, and got to be the upside to having my 21st birthday on a Sunday. I was pretty hungover all day, so I didn't really do too much other than watch the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, as well as enjoying my review. If you did like this review/recap, please leave a comment below and like and subscribe. Catch you later, guys. See you next week.